It all began with an unannounced press conference that quickly turned into a political earthquake in a single moment. Richard Tice, the leader of Reform UK, stood calmly amid a cluster of journalists in Dover. Minutes later, Keir Starmer was caught on camera in a furious scene, shouting at aides behind closed doors and slamming papers down on the table. Tice's move was bold, provocative, and impossible to ignore. It sent shockwaves through Westminster. The plan was simple yet highly symbolic. Transport dozens of undocumented migrants to areas controlled by Labour and the Liberal Democrats. This defiant political strike was deeply performative and powerful enough to shake the fragile balance of the election race. Tice unveiled the plan with his trademark swagger. If Labour is determined to defend open borders and turn a blind eye to the influx, then let them live with the consequences of their own policy, he declared. Beside him, buses already packed with asylum seekers were now part of a high political gambit. We are simply delivering their policy right to their doorstep. Bristol, Camden, Liverpool, Hackney, Oxford, all familiar territory for the progressive left. Now it was time for them to demonstrate the compassion they so often extol in parliamentary speeches. News cameras swung into action, following every move as the buses departed Dover, escorted by private security hired by Tice's team. Critics branded it human transportation for political gain, while supporters, especially among conservatives, hailed it as a masterstroke exposing the hypocrisy of the political elite. But whatever one's view, one thing was undeniable. Tice had declared war, and now Starmer was forced to respond. If you're finding this political drama as shocking as I am, make sure to subscribe because this story gets even more intense. Inside Labour headquarters, the situation quickly spiraled out of control. Insiders revealed that Starmer lost his temper the moment it was confirmed the buses were en route. One staff member described how he completely lost his composure, face flushed, pacing the floor, barking into the phone. He looked like a man cornered. This storm erupted at the worst possible moment. Labour's election campaign had only just begun, with Keir Starmer attempting a precarious balancing act, trying to appear tough on borders without damaging the progressive image his party is desperate to preserve. Then along came Richard Tice, delivering a surprise blow that collapsed Starmer's careful tightrope walk like a house of cards. According to sources, Starmer completely lost his temper behind closed doors, berating staff for failing to see the attack coming. "How did no one predict this?" he shouted. "Where's our response plan? Where are our lawyers? I look like I've been caught napping." Advisors scrambled to draft statements. Some urged him to condemn Tice's actions as inhumane. Others called for swift, legal action to halt the buses. But Starmer, stunned and floundering, couldn't make a decision. By the time reporters cornered him for comment, he was far from ready. His statement sounded muddled, defensive, and lacked the decisiveness the moment demanded. "It's dangerous," he muttered, amid the chaos outside Labour headquarters. "It puts vulnerable people at risk. It's no substitute for a proper political debate." But as he struggled to frame his message, the narrative had already slipped beyond his grasp. Meanwhile, Tice seemed to relish every moment, appearing on television with a self-satisfied air. He claimed Labour's flustered response proved they were all talk and no action. Tice even went on the personal attack. He wants to run the whole country, yet he can't handle a few buses while so-called sanctuary cities are in panic. For the migrants caught in this power play, it was a cruel and chaotic situation. Many had no idea they were pawns in a political game. Some thought they were being formally resettled by the government, only to find themselves driven to unfamiliar cities and hastily accommodated in abandoned community centres and church halls. The Labour and Liberal Democrat-controlled councils, given no prior warning, reacted furiously, condemning Tice for reckless behaviour that put both communities and migrants at risk. But by then, the damage was done. Hit that subscribe button now, because what happens next will completely change how you see British politics.